And good morning, everybody. This is Vinny Miletti from Miletti Law, the strongest name in law. It is now Thursday, July 14th. The time now is 10:40 a.m. We are about to head out into the courtroom. But I wanted to actually, so I've been getting a lot of, we're working on projects. The law in New York changes all the time, right? Well, sorry, let me take a step back. As always, make sure you go to the website, www.milettilaw.com, MILETTILAW.com, www.milettilaw.com. Sign up for the newsletter. And make sure you get on the make sure you get on the mailing list. Also, make sure you subscribe to this channel. We have coming close to 5,000 people. Got to get to 10,000 for the first milestone, 100,000 for the second milestone. So come on, people, I need more. Okay, so let's get down to it real quickly. So it's that time of year, doing a lot of projects. People, obviously people are starting to go back into the workforce. People are starting to commute more from home to the office as companies want to bring people in. Some companies are staying remote. Others are just, bringing everybody in. So so we've been doing like a lot of like handbook projects. We've been doing like a lot of review and employee policy projects. But a lot has changed, particularly New York City. If you happen to live like in these very, very deep blue states like New York, California, a lot has changed since Colorado. Like Colorado's another one. Like a lot of rules have changed since COVID, and the respective cities and states are becoming more and more aggressive. So we just want to keep that in mind, that you might want to review your handbooks, you might want to review your internal policies to make sure that everything is still aligned and up to date. So what I'm thinking is this series of videos is going to respond to the Q&A portions of the stuff. So everything here is going to be generalized, synonymized. Nothing's going to be specific to people. So it's just generally, I'll be responding to questions, but in a general fashion. So it's something that is known through something that you could share with others and just general guidance, right? So let's get down to it. Let's go back. Let's just do question and answer. So one of the questions is that if you operate in multiple states, can you have just one handbook for multiple states? I would say no. I would say what you should be doing is you should be having, I think you should have a separate handbook for every state you're operating in. So for example, unless you're something like, I don't know, maybe Amazon has an office in every state. I don't know, but most of these don't. Most of these might be operating in 1 or 2 states, maybe 3 states. Some of you may operate in New York, some of you may operate in New York, New Jersey, Florida, maybe New York, New Jersey, Florida, California, So I would not simply have, one handbook for everything, because you're, a couple of reasons. For the first part, you don't want to, your handbook is going to typically cite to certain provisions and laws, and you don't want to cite to irrelevant law, right? So you don't want to cite to something in California when your office is in New York, or vice versa. It's surplusage. You don't need it. It's more for employees to read and just causes more confusion. So it's not helpful. One of the second idea is just simply, you do not want to apply, say New York. You do not want to apply New York rules to a Florida company, simply because you don't have to. New York is very onerous with their rules. They have a lot of requirements on employers, and you don't want to apply those rules there. So it's more money out of your pocket as the employer, more money with compliance, and it puts you as an employer at more risk, because you're creating this environment in which employees are going to essentially have things to pull to fight you over. And when you make promises in your handbook, they're seen as like sometimes they're seen as implied contracts, implied promises. So you want to be wary of that. So my preference, and I always tell all the clients, is you want to have a handbook designed for each state that you operate in. Each state that you have a domicile, like a principal business place, you want to operate. You want to have your own handbook for that particular state. You genuinely don't want to have just this one generic one, because it's going to be just ripe with errors, and by you trying to save a little bit of money, trying to simplify it, by trying to standardize it, you're actually doing yourself a disservice, or you could be doing yourself a disservice. So I would strongly recommend against it. So to answer the question, does it make sense to have one generalized handbook for the whole country, or do you just want to have, or does it make more sense to have some kind of variation? Here we espouse that we think you should be having one for each state that you operate in, and trust me, it's worth it in the long run. You don't need to run into the issues of, again, creating issues for employees, creating promises you shouldn't be creating, and holding yourself to standards that you don't need to be holding yourself to, because they're impractical and they don't exist in one state as opposed to another. So That was question number 1. There'll be many more of these. So hopefully this was helpful. As always, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Email me. You have the website. Go to the contact us page, write your questions. And as always, yours in the world lifts. This is one of many videos, and have a good day.